this section, we will delve a bit into the code or the script or the functionalities that allows interaction with LLMs within the LangChain ecosystem. I'll be basically focusing on three main components myself: the prompt template that handles the input, the structured output parser, and the response schema. So the structured output parser, it parses the output, plus it helps a bit with the prompt template by formatting the instructions or telling the LLM about the instructions when returning back the value. The response schema tells the LLM about the fields that you are after. So assuming or thinking about it in our heads when we are returning an object or returning a JSON object or a dictionary, we worry about the key and the value and so on. The response schema plays a bit of a role within this. And as always, it's better to have a problem to be solved when writing up some code. So let's try to write this up together, or trying to understand these three functions or three functionalities by having a system where you want the LLM to understand the user intent. I mean by that, you have, let's assume you are building a chatbot and you have the LLM setting up somewhere. You have the user input that you want from the user input to pass this input and tell what functions to be running next. This is more if you are doing agentic AI or running tools within the workflow. I'll start by importing the required libraries. Chat OpenAI I use to connect to OpenAI LLMs. Then importing the template. Prompt template. Now importing the functionalities, the parser from the output underscore parsers. Loading the environment variables and still setting up everything to start with the activity or with the exercise in here. Step number 2, setting up the LLM using Chat OpenAI in here. I'm using ChatGPT 4. Number 3 is setting up the output parsers. First, setting up the intent schema. It is usually a list, and that's where you can think about it as the JSON or as a dictionary. In here, there will be a name, and then there will be a description within each response schema. So here I'm saying what is intent, or I'm telling the model, telling the system what is the user, telling the model about the intent. For my activity, I wanted to do it as I think about it as you send a message to the LLM, and the LLM tells you what is the next function to be running. Now setting up the parser, and as we mentioned, the parser has two jobs. The first one is to format the instructions or tell the LLM about the format of the instructions. And the second one is to actually pass the object or the return output from the LLM. Going to step 5, defining the prompt template. And as I said, format instructions is going to be a variable within there. So two main or two required variables or parameters. The template here is the message that gets sent to the user to the LLM. Sorry. Now the other variable, the other required parameter, which is the input variables. Within here, we put user message, which is required within the template. And here we define or we add the dictionary that contains the format instructions. Now let's assume there is an example from the user. The user wants some number plates related to data science. You can see here we will need to format the prompt in a way that is acceptable or that allows us to invoke the LLM. We run the following function, prompt format underscore prompt, and this is the user message that is in the prompt template. Step number 8, actually running the LLM, and then number 9 will be passing. So we'll just invoke here with the prompt str, and then I will pass the LLM response when it is returned back. I'll save the file, and then I will run it. Now, after saving the file, running it, waiting for the response. On the right side, there is the variables explorer over there from Spider that allows you to check or to inspect some of the variables within your script. This is all as a tutorial, so it is helpful. Now I want to check what's inside the past object, and it will be a dictionary, as you will see now. So here what we were after to understand what is the function to be running next, which is in this case, because the person said I want a number plate related to data science, it suggests it. Now let's show you another activity or another example. Let's assume we want to see the number plates and then restart. Then the past object or the returned object will contain a different value at this stage, which is going to be suggest plate and then restart.